Okay, let's dive in. What if you had, say, an ancient code, a really tough one, colliding with these shadowy groups using super advanced tech?
Right, like a high-stakes chase across history and technology.
Exactly. And that's pretty much the world we're exploring today as we do a deep dive into a new book.
Yeah, we're focusing today on the Decrypter and the Beale Ciphers. It's actually the sixth book in Rose Sandy's Decrypter series.
Okay, sixth book. And if you're someone who enjoys, fast-paced action, historical mysteries, maybe a bit of espionage, and definitely some cool tech,
Then this is for you.
then this deep dive should be right up your alley. We've tried to pull out the really interesting bits without giving away any spoilers.
Definitely no spoilers. And, while each book in the series can stand alone, reading them in order does give you a richer feel for the world.
A deeper context, maybe?
Exactly. You see these recurring themes: history, spies, cyber defense, technology, science. They're always woven in. It's
Yeah.
quite a detailed world she's built.
So let's talk about the main character, Calla Cress.
Right. Calla. She's fascinating. British Museum curator. Seems normal enough.
But that's the cover.
Totally. She's also the head of this super secret group, the International Security Task Force, ISTF. Her code name's Red Fox.
And her backstory is pretty intense, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. She was abandoned when she was just an infant. And a lot of her drive comes from this mystery surrounding her parents, Stan and Nicole.
They were MI6.
MI6, yeah.
Yeah.
And they left her, seemingly to protect her because she has these unique abilities, some kind of genetic engineering involved. Very subtle, but significant.
That must create some interesting character dynamics. She's aware she's attractive, the book notes, but there's this undercurrent of insecurity.
Definitely. That orphan background, the fear of abandonment, it's still there despite everything she is now. It makes her relatable, I think.
And she's not alone in this fight. She's secretly married to Nash Shields.
Yes, Nash. Codename Silver Jaguar. Former Marine, NSA, now attached to her ISKF team. They've been through a lot.
Including a recent tragedy, right? Losing their child.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very recently. Lost their unborn child to an enemy. It's absolutely fueled their determination, their mission to confiscate dangerous tech and science before it causes more harm.
Wow. Okay, so our mission today then is to explore these characters, the plot threads without spoilers, the themes in the Decrypter and the Beale Ciphers.
And really give listeners a sense of why they might want to grab this book if they like this kind of thriller.
Right, and we'll tell you where you can find it, of course.
So the core team, we've got Calla, Red Fox, Nash, Silver Jaguar, and then there's Jack Cleave.
White Wolf.
White Wolf, yeah.
Yeah.
He's this brilliant tech entrepreneur, sort of the Q of the group, but maybe even more hands-on.
Yeah.
ISTF's Chief of Science and Technology Advisor.
And it sounds like their skills really mesh well together. Calla's history and leadership,
Nash's tactical know-how.
and Jack's tech genius makes for a strong unit.
Absolutely. But it's not just them. The book brings in some really intriguing supporting characters, like Helona Osaminglian.
Okay, who's she?
She's connected directly to the Beale Ciphers. And interestingly, she's a descendant of Squanto.
Wow, okay. That's a specific detail. And she has a telescope.
She does. And this telescope seems pretty important. Her first run-in with the bad guys really sets a dangerous tone right from the get-go.
Sound like immediate high stakes.
Very much so. Then you have characters like Oscara Elmano,
Assassin for hire, leader of mercenaries. Sounds like trouble.
a very direct threat, yes. And Margot Arlington, former governor, U.S. ambassador to London, even ran for president once.
Okay, so political intrigue is definitely in the mix.
Seems like it. And then there's Mason Laskville, former head of ISTF, background in signals intelligence, linguistics.
A predecessor. That could mean anything. Ally, rival, something else entirely.
Exactly. Potential for complex history there. We also meet Len Cyrus, a Miami psychiatrist who seems shady.
Shady psychiatrist. Always a good sign in a thriller.
And Soma Cleave, agent with the African Intelligence Agency. The surname obviously makes you wonder.
Any relation to Jack?
Potentially. Adds another layer, maybe some international angles, maybe personal stakes for Jack.
It really sounds like a tangled web. All these characters potentially connected, conflicting motives.
That's a big part of the draw. You're constantly trying to figure out how everyone fits and what they're really after.
Okay, let's shift to the plot itself, staying spoiler-free. The Beale Ciphers are obviously key.
Central. And they're presented as this massive enigma, so tough that even GCHQ, Britain's code-breaking agency, couldn't crack them.
That sets the bar pretty high. And they're linked to caves.
Ancient caves in New Mexico, yeah, with old wall paintings Adds this great historical mystery element.
And the telescope we mentioned earlier, Halona's telescope.
Seems crucial. Possibly even Galileo's. Is highly sought after and apparently key to actually decrypting those ciphers.
So Halona getting abducted at the start?
Makes perfect sense. They want the telescope and maybe her knowledge to use it for the decryption. Huge stakes from page 1.
And you mentioned Cecile and Jack exploring caves. Sounds dangerous.
Yeah, ancient, unstable caves. Definitely implies physical danger alongside the intellectual puzzle. They're likely searching for clues down there.
And there's maybe some trouble within the ISTF. You mentioned betrayal.
There are hints. Someone named Scarlet behaves suspiciously. It plants that seed of doubt. Can they even trust everyone on their own team?
Internal threats add a whole different level of tension.
For sure. And technology, of course, plays a huge role. It's a techno-thriller series, after all.
Like what kind of tech?
Well, things like nanoscanners, secure comms built into watches, this AI surveillance system called the Eye. It's that blend of old mystery and very new tech.
And it's not just set in one place, is it? Sounds like a global affair.
Definitely. The action moves around. Marrakech, Eze in France, the Med Sea. There are mentions or hints of places like Alaska, Italy, the Museo Galileo in Florence. It feels big.
And underneath all the action and tech, there are personal stories running through. Calla's search for her parents.
Yes, that's always there. Her past trauma, the search for answers about Stan and Nicole, and, as we said, the recent loss of her child with Nash, it gives her actions real emotional weight.
Adds depth to the character.
Absolutely. And there's another intriguing thread, apparently. Jack has an encounter with someone he thought was dead.
Oh, okay. That opens up a lot of questions about past missions, enemies.
Right. Who are they really up against? What secrets are buried?
So the core conflict feels like this race to unlock the cipher's secrets versus the need to keep potentially dangerous knowledge or tech out of the wrong hands.
That sums it up nicely. The pursuit of knowledge versus global security. A classic thriller conflict, but with a unique spin here.
Okay, so let's talk about who should read this. Why pick up the Decrypter and the Beale Ciphers?
Well, first off, if you love a good puzzle, like really intricate codes and ciphers.
The Beale Ciphers mystery itself is a huge draw.
Exactly. It's compelling right from the start. You want to know what they hide.
And the mix of history and modern elements.
I think that's a key appeal. You get the thrill of espionage, the cool gadgets, but it's grounded in this fascinating historical puzzle. It's a great blend.
Calla sounds like a strong lead, too.
Very much so.
Yeah.
She's intelligent, capable, but also has those vulnerabilities we talked about. Makes her feel real, someone you can root for.
And you mentioned it's fast-paced.
Oh, absolutely.
Huh.
Rose Sandy keeps the plot moving. Lots of action, twists, turns. It definitely keeps you reading.
It's not just surface-level action, though. There are themes.
Yeah, it touches on things like trust, as we mentioned, betrayal, the ethics surrounding powerful technology. It gives you something to think about beyond just the plot.
So if you like stories with secret agencies, dangerous missions, high stakes.
This book delivers. It fits squarely in that thriller, espionage, techno-thriller space.
And for people already following the series.
It continues the bigger story arcs, develops the characters you know, but throws a fresh, really engaging challenge at them. Fans should be happy.
Okay, so to wrap that part up, the Decrypter and the Beale Ciphers offers this really exciting mix: historical puzzles, modern spying, cool tech.
Compelling characters, fast plot, a really solid thriller.
And just to reiterate, even though it's book 6...
We can jump right in. It works as a standalone adventure. But yeah, reading the others first adds extra layers if you want the full experience.
Good to know. So if people are interested, where can they find it?
You should look for The Decrypter and the Beale Ciphers by Rose Sandy, wherever great books are sold. You know, your usual online places, local bookstores.
Then this series name again is the Decrypter series.
That's the one.
Yeah.
And if listeners want to find out more about Rose Sandy or her other books, she also writes the Shadow Files thrillers and the Money Hunter series.
Where should they go?
Her website is probably the best place, www.rosesandy.com. She's also on social media. Facebook is facebook.com/SandyAuthor. And Instagram is instagram.com/Silver Gravity Entertainment.
Great. And is there already a hint of what's next for Calla Cress?
There is. Book 7 is announced. The Decrypter, Atlantis of the Sands. Another Calla Cress techno-thriller.
Atlantis of the Sands. Sounds intriguing.
Right. Hints at new legends, maybe even catastrophic stakes. It's also set up as a standalone story within the series. There's a page for it on her site too. rosesandy.com/The Decrypter and the Atlantis of the Sands. We'll put that link up.
Excellent. So lots more to come for fans.
Seems like it. And, reading this book makes you think, what is it about these unsolved codes, these ciphers, that just grabs us, even centuries later?
Yeah, that enduring mystery. And how does all this espionage stuff keep changing as technology just leaps forward constantly?
Right. It's a constantly shifting landscape. Maybe this book gives you a glimpse into one possible version of that future wrapped in a great historical mystery. Food for thought, maybe?
You're something beautiful.